Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations on being the chairman.
Thank you. I'm glad to be chairman. I can tell you that.
I know you are. Ms. Lynch, congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you, Senator.
It was it was great meeting with you. Your reputation for smart and tough preceded you, and you didn't disappoint in our meeting. And thank you for the wide-ranging conversation. How was lunch?
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you enjoyed lunch?
Yes, sir.
Good. I discussed a couple things, or a number of things when you were in my office, and I want to bring them up again and talk about them. One is our prison system. We have
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry.
our prison system. I want to talk about our
Yes.
Prison system. The United States has 5% of the world's population, 25% of the prison population. And I think one of the biggest problems is that we've used our criminal justice system as a substitute for a well-functioning mental health system. And we have a lot of people in prison, in jails in this country, who probably shouldn't be there, and it's not serving anybody any purpose. We have young people and others with mental illness who are in solitary confinement, and it just makes their mental health worse. And so what I want to do to address that is something called the Justice and Mental Health Collaboration Act. It's a reauthorization of MIOTCRA, which is the Mentally Ill Offender Treatment and Rehabilitation Act, which has been very bipartisan in the past, and this should be bipartisan. In fact, it is bipartisan. It's been carried by a Republican in the House. And I just want to ask you for your support as we go forward in making sure that our criminal justice system isn't not just wasting money, but wasting lives, and that that you will work together with me on that.
Senator, I look forward to working together with you on that as well as other important issues. I think you've highlighted one of the most important developments in criminal justice research and literature has been the ongoing research that has been done into the root causes of so much of our criminal activity. In particular, where the mentally ill are involved, we continue to learn more and more about how that illness impacts them as they make their way through the criminal justice system. And I look forward to taking advantage of that new knowledge with you and working with you on that and other important issues.
Yeah, some of this involves, I don't know if you've heard of crisis intervention training, but crisis intervention training is teaching both police on the ground and corrections officials in prisons to recognize when they're seeing someone with a mental health problem and to deal with it in the correct way.
Certainly, because I think the research has shown, and certainly anyone with experience with a family member or friend who has a mental illness knows that sometimes conditions may manifest themselves in ways that appear to be disruptive, but are in fact a reflection of the illness.
And so what I'll be doing with this is doing mental health courts, so that if a prosecutor and an arresting officer and the defense attorney and the judge say this person belongs in a mental health court, and so that they can be treated and not go to prison where it's going to clog up the prison system and make this person's condition worse, then we'll do that. And also to do veterans courts, because we have so many veterans that are coming back with invisible wounds.
Yes.
And sometimes those invisible wounds will be medicated by drugs or by alcohol. And instead of going to prison, maybe it's time to go, we can go to a veterans court.
Certainly, Senator, I know that some of my U.S. Attorney colleagues have been instrumental in working on the concept of veterans courts in particular as part of the department's strong commitment to protecting all of the rights of veterans. You are so correct. We ask so much of our men and women in uniform, and they come back to us often different from how they left, with wounds that we can see and wounds that we often cannot see. And I believe we have an obligation to provide them the best treatment, to thank them for their service to our country.
Fabulous. I look forward to working with you that, should you be confirmed, which I hope you will. Let me move on to something kind of specific. I was chair and now will be ranking member of the Privacy, Technology, and the Law Subcommittee. And there's a lot of technology out there that's new that we're learning about some unforeseen consequences of it. There's a thing called stalking apps. I don't know if you know about it. We discussed this. And incredible, when I first did location privacy subcommittee hearing, my first hearing, I got some testimony from the Minnesota Coalition for Battered Women. And they told a story about a woman who had an abusive partner. And she went to a county building in, it was in St. Louis County in northern Minnesota. And while she was there, on her phone, she got a text from her abuser, "Why are you in the county building? Are you going to the domestic violence place?" Well, it scared her so much they took her to the courthouse to get to file an order against them. While she's there, she gets it from him saying, "Why are you at the courthouse? Are you getting a restraining order against me?" It's terrified her. And it turns out, we've had testimony on this, this is very common. Now, DOJ does have the authority under existing wiretap laws to prosecute creator of apps that allow stalkers to listen to their victims' phone calls, intercept text messages, or otherwise intercept content from victims' phones. And DOJ has prosecuted one app developer who created an app to do this thing, and I'd ask that you continue to do that. But looking ahead, would you work with me? I have a bill to stop these things, to stop the marketing, the manufacture of stalking apps. So, and also would ask the DOJ keep data on this, because the last real data we have on this is like from 2006, when I don't know how much you keep up with technology, but since then, a lot more people have these smartphones, and this is a real problem.
Senator, I think you've outlined a very important issue as it relates to the victims of domestic violence or anyone who fears that someone that they thought was close to them might turn on them instead. And certainly I look forward to working with you and keeping you apprised not only of the department's efforts in the continued prosecution of these matters, but to look at the statute with you and provide whatever assistance we can.
Thank you. Look forward to that as well. One last thing, I have about 2 minutes. I am very concerned about the telecommunications industry consolidating, and I'm specifically concerned about Comcast's proposed acquisition of Time Warner Cable. This is the largest cable provider and the second largest cable provider. It is the largest broadband internet provider, and the third largest broadband internet provider. To me, this is just too big, and they would have unprecedented power in the telecommunications industry. There's been a lot of comment on this, including my comment on this to the Antitrust Division. Will you commit to reviewing the serious concerns about the proposed Comcast Time Warner deal that I and so many others have raised, and just do all that you can to ensure that the Antitrust Division is empowered to stand up to telecommunications giants like Comcast, if that's what it deems necessary?
Certainly, Senator, the Antitrust Division plays an extremely important role in keeping our markets competitive and open for everyone. And I look forward to learning more about this case, to reviewing those issues, and to working with you to make sure that all of the concerns about this are brought to our attention so that they can be dealt with by the Antitrust Division as we move forward.
Okay, then I'll probably vote for you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.